Hey guys and gals, it's your boy Veteran Trainer Hawk coming back at you guys today, and we will be ranking the bosses from the first game of the Spyro the Reignited trilogy. Now this list is all my personal opinions and has nothing to do with the opinions of others and or the statistics on this game. Now I thought this list would be fun because I've really enjoyed how well the graphic update to this remaster has been. The team behind this game has really put the effort into really flushing out the character designs, and a lot of the bosses look so much better than anticipated. So a few rules for this list will be each boss will be ranked on 1, the appearance of the boss itself, and 2, how the level in which you face off against the boss looks and feels for the showdown. In this list, we will have 6 bosses to go over, so without further ado, let's get right into the countdown. Now starting off this list is a boss that even as a kid I just kinda didn't even really care for all that much. The boss in question is Blowhard. First off, the name really is the most lackluster and disappointing name of the so-called bosses. But I mean, this must make sense once you see what I have to say. Now before I start roasting the hell out of this boss, let's get into some of the positives this world has to offer. To start off, the whole world is actually very aesthetically pleasing to look at. You have semi-green paths to traverse with snow building up on this mountainside level. When entering the level, you even see some awesome towering windmills in the distance of the level with some icy mountains. But that is honestly about it. There's only 2 types of enemies in this level, and they are all right, but they are both wizards. Wait, I mean, make that 3 if you count the washed up wizard Blowhard, who looks even worse than them. One literally throws lightning at you while the other moves platforms using magic. Might I add, the majority of this level is just you traversing these awkward moving platforms just to chase this boss down that apparently attacks you. Or so I thought. Yes, in the 3 times you have to hit this boss after chasing him through this stupid maze it seems, you can literally flame him and take him down without even launching a single attack at you. Yeah, next. Now coming in at number 5 is a boss that may well seem like he deserves the final spot, but at least he can be considered a boss. That man is Dr. Shemp. Now coming into this world, it just kinda meh. I don't really dig the desert type or areas of the game that much. They're just not my thing. It's kind of hard to make that landscape look really good when everything is just hot and dying to survive. Plus, I mean, the enemies are just kind of lackluster. One of them just gets hurled at you with a full suit of armor like a screaming madman, which you can either ram into them or just watch them carelessly fall off the cliff and then just collect the gems. And this other one is this ugly ass lunch lady looking woman that literally looks like she could be the slug woman's sister from Monsters Inc. After hurling the other enemies at you, she barely has time to react before you roast her to death. Now, Dr. Shemp's appearance really isn't too bad. He has this kind of hippie guru shaman look going for him, which works, but the character himself is extremely cocky, which is weird because he just kind of twirls around fighting you, and you literally have to flame him in his ass cheeks to defeat him. Not a super hard boss, but he can get annoying if you have bad timing, and nonetheless, in my eyes, he is considered a boss. Coming in at number 4 is a boss that kinda has the same problem as the previous entry, but still makes a way better appearance. That being Metalhead. Now we'll start off that the level for this boss is just kinda lackluster to me. Like I discussed about Nork's loot in my top 5 Spyro levels, metal and brick lay the foundation for this level, but it does not pull it off as good as Nork's loot. This level has a semi-dark atmosphere, so it makes the place just kinda look alright, and the map has these weird ape-like creatures that are alright but not really too pleasing. That is until you get into the castle portion of this level. Once the battle starts, you are enclosed in this cobblestone room with lightning rods protruding up from the ground. Metalhead himself actually looks pretty badass looking, like an armored tank-like beast with devil horns and a freaking mohawk. Being able to shoot lightning at you and hurl enemies as well, you You have to destroy the lightning rods as they turn green, and it will cause him to flee to the next area. Chase him down and repeat, but this time, the area opens up into a wide gauntlet area with ooze and waterfalls. It really sets the stage for the boss fight, and you can definitely mess up and lose a couple lives to this boss if you're not really paying attention. Coming in at number 3 is the big bad antagonist of the first game. That being Nasty Nork. Now, I just wanted to start off this entry by saying I actually really liked how they redesigned Nasty Nork, especially this being the very first game, and Nasty is introduced in the very first cutscene of you booting up this amazing remaster. They did an absolutely fantastic job designing Spyro's first major boss in the series. I love how they gave Nasty's new redesign more bulk to his body and fleshed out the body armor that he wears. They made his face and facial expressions very spot on in making him an actually intimidating foe compared to the other bosses in this game. Lastly, he really does look like the person that would be leading the other Norks for sure. Now, the level to this boss fight is pretty straightforward. You start off in a metal type gauntlet room that has some great low lighting, and you have to chase down the thieves to get the keys to unlock the steps leading up to Nasty Nork. You are forced to run through these mazes in an endless loop until obtaining the keys, and the thieves will be no joke in this level. After obtaining the keys and his endless magic blasts, you end up chasing him through his whole base of operations in this nighttime environment. Mixing in with the purple ooze and the tension of keeping up with him while he is running from you just gives this boss fight a pretty high number on this list, and is a great ending to the very first game in my opinion. Now, coming in at number 2 might surprise you, but I honestly think he deserves this spot. That being the disguised sheep scarecrow that is Toasty. Now, seeing as this is the very first boss you face in the game, I am actually surprised the team blended together a magnificent world and a badass looking boss together all in one. Coming into this level, you are treated by a dust sky, which this level is pretty much the only one to have this backdrop and make it look so amazing. Looking around you, you just see orange clouds and orange water flowing all around you, and it just sets the whole mood for this level. And going further, you face off against sheep herders and what seems to be their guard dogs instead of actual sheep. I absolutely love this level's enemies. The sheep herders look very well made and distinguishes itself from the wizards in the game, and plus the white hounds actually got pretty frustrating when flaming them and they turned black, causing them to attack you once more. Just traversing this level with the music, the sick enemies, and this awesome island castle builds up to a perfect boss fight that when I first got here, it actually blew me away. Toasty looks badass. As a kid, I thought he was kinda he kinda looked cool, but they really amped it up for the remaster. Before you even start flaming him and revealing the sheep underneath, Toasty is sporting what I can only describe as a headless horseman outfit. He has the long, gnarly looking trench coat that's all sewn up and still has holes in it. He's holding this gigantic scythe that sounds pretty vicious as he swings it. And lastly, the jack-o'-lantern head and the pointy hat. All this together actually made me say, wow, as I played through this level for the very first time. This was when I truly knew they put a lot of love and effort into this remaster. Now, the number 1 spot takes everything I pretty much said that was great about entry number 2 and turns it up even more. That being the amazingly designed boss that is Jacques. Now, I don't know what it is about this level, but everything from the level itself to the enemies to the boss is just pure badassery. Coming into this level, you are greeted with some terrifying enemies that look like they crawled out of a horror movie. That paired with the lava and the semi-dark reddish atmosphere gives this level an amazing intro. Now, to traverse the majority of this level, you have to flame the royal fools, which is a really nice touch to the level, and have them raise platforms for you to fly to the next floating island. The intense atmosphere mixed with the amazing platforming as you fly from one island to another just really makes this level the most worthy of being in the number 1 spot. Then you get to the man himself, Jacques. Jacques is modeled after a Jack-in-the-Box, and boy does he look wicked. His design reminds me of the movie The Mask starring Jim Carrey, but instead the mask has found its way onto the face of one of the fools of the game and transformed him into a beast of a Joker. His teeth are all razor sharp, his wings are all broken and torn up. He looks like a demented Joker, and that's why he is at the #1 spot. Lastly, the square off against the boss just throws you right into the middle of a volcanic crater on some platforms. This boss and level design truly show the love and effort put into this game, and in my opinion definitely deserves the #1 spot of the bosses from the very first game of the Spyro the Dragon Reignited trilogy. Thank you all again for tuning into this video until the very end. But what do you guys and gals think? Do you agree with my ranking of these bosses? If not, or if you do, please leave a comment down below telling me what way you would personally rank these bosses and why. If you are digging my content, make sure to smash that like button please, possibly subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every time I drop a brand new video. As always, I am Veteran Trainer Hawk, you are all amazing, and I will see all you guys and gals again.